Cosmic horrors is a broad term encompassing a variety of monstrous entities that defy our understanding of reality and inspire feelings of profound fear and insignificance in humans. Their true forms are beyond human comprehension, often defying our concepts of space, time, and geometry. Attempts to describe them can only hint at their true nature, often resulting in madness or incomprehension. They possess immense power and often present forces far beyond human control or influence. Their capabilities can range from warping reality to manipulating minds. They are utterly alien to our existence and devoid of human morality or empathy. Their motives are often inscrutable, and their actions can be indifferent, destructive, or even playful in a way that humans find incomprehensible and terrifying. By confronting us with the vastness and indifference of the universe and our own insignificant place within it, cosmic horrors can trigger profound existential dread and fear. They challenge our sense of security and purpose in the cosmos, leaving us questioning our place and even our own reality. A first-hand account of them reads, "These are some of the scariest things I've ever encountered, deserving of their own category. I'm not sure if this was more misdirection, but I got the impression that their role in the greater hierarchy was something analogous to Black Ops, with special powers and authority over the lesser beings, something parallel to the normal chain of command. Initially, the lesser beings disavowed any association with them, and even pretended to offer me protection from them. Following my confrontation with them, though, they hesitantly admitted that they work for the same cause. The lesser beings seemed not exactly fond of these things, even resentful of the way they flaunted and abused their power. They were utterly and devastatingly powerful and terrifying, with near complete control over me. In 3 encounters I remember, they had me in their thrall and kept me in a weakened state while they made me do their bidding. I know there were at least 2 more possibly worse encounters that I have thankfully forgotten, and one that was too intensely gruesome for me to feel comfortable writing about right now. Encountering Legion in the DMT realm can be a complex and potentially unsettling experience. Many report seeing multiple faces, figures, or voices, sometimes shifting and merging into one another, reflecting the biblical and demonological portrayal as a legion of spirits. The presence of Legion can be oppressive and overwhelming, generating feelings of fear, anxiety, and even terror. Its chaotic nature can feel disorienting and destabilizing. Some report encountering animalistic forms, darkness, or grotesque visuals, potentially representing the destructive and primal aspects associated with Legion. In the Gospel of Mark, Jesus encounters a man possessed by a demon who identifies itself as Legion. This entity claims to be not one, but many, a multitude of spirits inhabiting the man's body. Jesus casts out the legion, sending them into a herd of pigs, who then rush headlong into the sea and drown. The name Legion is derived from the Latin legio, which means a large group or many. In the Roman military, a legion referred to a unit of 3,000 to 6,000 soldiers. When Jesus asked the demon its name, it replied, "My name is Legion, for we are many." Medieval demonology elaborates on the image of Legion, assigning it a place within the hierarchy of hell. Some texts list Legion as a prince of demons, others as a lesser entity, but all agree on its malevolent nature and association with multiple spirits. Legion is often depicted as a monstrous figure with many heads, symbolizing the chaos and discord brought by the multitude it embodies. A first-hand encounter reads as follows. This encounter occurred toward the end of the being's initial salvo of punishments. It took the form of many entities, seemingly part of a collective intelligence, possibly mere puppets of a single entity, controlling it all. Anyway, this was an encounter with something that represented itself as a massively intimidating military force, like an intergalactic Roman Empire or Third Reich, conquerors of civilizations and destroyers of worlds. The visual component was in the form of being surrounded by a legion of domineering, faceless soldiers that looked like something from a fantasy or sci-fi film, accompanied by a warlord general wearing something like a cybernetic plague doctor mask, towering bipedal mecha-like constructs, biomechanical monstrosities, and other colossal war machines. The weaponry was difficult to identify, but their overwhelming destructive force was somehow immediately obvious. I caught glimpses of a vast, smoldering, grimly industrial landscape in the background, an eerie, ever-burning fire in the sky, with signs of nuclear holocaust or other cataclysmic events that they were implicitly responsible for. It all felt intensely apocalyptic and prophetic. I'm not certain, but for a brief moment, I felt like I sensed my tormentor, somewhere in the background, smugly pleased with his reinforcements, but jealously disappointed that he couldn't join in on the fun, perhaps even resentfully submissive to the greater power before me. Beyond the visual component of the experience was a lot more information, most memorable of which was the music. It was very dark, foreboding, and militaristic, reminiscent of martial industrial and neoclassical music like Triarii or in Slaughter Natives, with a bit of a trippy edge. I think there were even lyrics, although not in a language I could recognize. This was also accompanied by some kind of rhythmic chanting, along with a seething, crackling beam of energy being channeled toward me, which I think was something along the lines of weaponized fear. There was a lot going on at once, and there's so much to this that I thankfully have forgotten, but the two intelligible words I remember were, "We win." It was delivered in a booming, growling voice, again carrying with it so much more weight and significance than the mere words themselves, with distinct connotations of military victory. Circus ringleaders are a type of entity that some people report encountering during a DMT experience. They are described as being all about showmanship, often resembling the archetypal circus ringleader, with a coat, tails, and a top hat. They may even have a baton, wand, or fancy cane that they use to direct your attention to various aspects of the DMT experience. These entities are associated with a place that looks like a circus or a fun fair, often featuring elements like trains or roller coasters. This place is described as a joyful location that is often encountered in early DMT experiences. The circus ringleaders are said to be hyper-intelligent, telepathic, and capable of putting on a show for your entertainment. If you encounter a performance with a ringleader, you're advised to sit back and prepare to be amazed. A user trip report reads as follows. Suddenly, I found myself standing at the entrance of what appeared to be a grand circus. The air was filled with the sound of laughter and music. I could see a roller coaster twisting and turning in the distance, and a merry-go-round spinning nearby. Then, out of nowhere, a figure appeared before me. He was tall and slender, dressed in a red coat with tails, a white shirt, and a black top hat. His face was obscured by the shadow of his hat, but I could see a mischievous smile playing on his lips. He raised his hand, and in it was a baton, which he twirled with an air of showmanship. With a flourish, he pointed the baton towards the roller coaster, and I found myself being pulled towards it. As I rode the roller coaster, I experienced a rush of emotions: fear, excitement, joy. The circus ringleader stood at the side, his baton directing my experience, orchestrating the highs and lows. After what felt like an eternity, the ride came to a stop. I found myself back in front of the circus ringleader. He tipped his hat at me, and with a final twirl of his baton, he disappeared. Entities, known as geniuses or genie, are often reported by individuals during a DMT experience. These beings are typically portrayed as seated in ornate chairs, observing the user with a somewhat stern and judgmental demeanor. They often recline, tilting their heads to the side in a somewhat scornful manner, while slowly stroking their chins or touching their noses. If they choose to interact with you, they will rise from their seats and move at an incredibly fast pace. They possess the ability to materialize instantly behind you, and no matter where you direct your gaze or focus, they are always one step ahead. They seem to take pleasure in highlighting your inadequacies and often respond to your inquiries before you've even voiced them. While they may not necessarily have horns and are more commonly depicted as neon rainbow hues, shimmering on a black background rather than red, they share some similarities with common depictions of devils or the devil. They are linked with a level of wisdom and knowledge that surpasses human comprehension. A user reported, "Before me, on a throne that seemed to be woven from the fabric of the cosmos itself, sat an entity. Its form was fluid, a dazzling display of iridescent colors dancing on a canvas of infinite darkness. It regarded me with an expression that was equal parts curiosity and condescension. It answered my unspoken questions with a knowing smirk, underscoring my mortal limitations. Yet in spite of the discomfort, I was filled with a sense of wonder. This being possessed a wisdom and knowledge that was beyond my understanding. When venturing into the uncharted territory of the DMT realm, one might encounter a figure steeped in both myth and mystery, Lilith. In Judeo-Christian lore, Lilith appears as the first wife of Adam, created from the same earth as he was. However, their union proved tumultuous, with Lilith refusing to submit to Adam's authority. She departed Eden and became associated with female independence and rebellion against patriarchal structures. Some interpretations portray her as a succubus, a seductive demon who preys on men, while others see her as a powerful goddess, embracing her sexuality and defying societal norms. In demonology, Lilith takes on a darker hue. Medieval texts depict her as a child-stealing monster and a temptress who leads men astray. This demonization likely stemmed from the fear and condemnation of female sexuality and autonomy in those times. However, some scholars see this demonized Lilith as a distorted reflection of the powerful, independent woman she once represented. A bizarre trip report about her reads as follows. Days after my girlfriend and I delved into a series of trips, we experienced a profound encounter with Lilith, an enigmatic entity known for her complex and often mysterious nature. Following my first trip, my girlfriend's behavior underwent a significant change, leading us to speculate that Lilith had taken an interest in me and, subsequently, influenced her. This influence manifested as strange behavior, heightened irritability, and a series of unsettling thoughts. As we navigated through subsequent trips, it became apparent that Lilith's influence extended beyond me. During our third shared trip, my girlfriend experienced overwhelming and satanic thoughts, describing vivid images that mirrored my own unsettling experiences. My girlfriend felt a sensation as if something had dislodged from her throat, accompanied by a sense of pain and torment. She claimed to have made deals, one for fame and fortune, and another to be bound to me for life. These deals seemingly brought unexpected financial gains and a deeper connection between us. Morphos are characterized by their unstable forms, which can rise and subside like waves. They are conscious and capable of solidifying into fantastic forms if they choose to do so. These forms are often reminiscent of creatures from mythology, but are more colorful and multidimensional. Examples include dragons, tritons, sphinxes, harpies, rocks, phoenixes, mock turtles, jabberwocky, minotaurs, dryads, quetzalcoatl, yetis, octopuses, etc. There are no limits to what might appear. These entities are said to have vast awareness and consciousness, containing unique gems of wisdom. Their essential nature is associated with guidance and wisdom. A trip report leads with, "This wasn't your average living room. The space stretched on forever. A boundless canvas splashed with colors I couldn't even name. And in the middle of it all, swirling and shifting like a living kaleidoscope, was the Morphos." Imagine a creature straight out of a Dr. Seuss fever dream. One moment it was a shimmering dragon, its scales 1,000 rainbows dancing in the void. The next, it morphed into a celestial squid, its tentacles trailing stardust and nebulae. It was beautiful, terrifying, and utterly captivating. The Morphos didn't speak in words. Instead, it communicated in a symphony of emotions and concepts. It showed me the universe as a grand cosmic dance, where stars pirouetted around invisible suns and galaxies waltzed in the endless void. It unveiled the delicate interplay of light and shadow, where darkness birthed light and chaos orchestrated creation. As I drifted closer to the Morphos, its essence brushed against my own, and in that touch, I saw myself reflected back, not as a solid being of flesh and bone, but as a swirling nebula of possibilities. My fears and joys, my desires and doubts, all intertwined with the luminous threads of my potential. I was a Morphos too, capable of infinite transformation. This wasn't just a trip, it was a revelation. I wasn't just a speck in the universe, but a swirling vortex of stories yet unwritten, destinies yet undreamt. Planet object divas are vibrant and highly intelligent life forms. Their appearance often mirrors that of plants or inanimate objects, diverging from our conventional understanding of sentient beings. They exhibit a captivating display of transformation, unfolding, wiggling, and blossoming in a mesmerizing dance of existence. A noteworthy observation is their ability to reveal, upon complete unfolding, in what seemed to be erogenous zones akin to the pistils in stamens of a flower. These zones are capable of experiencing sensations comparable to an orgasm. The inherent telepathy in these hyperspatial interactions allows the voyager to partake in this cosmic ecstasy. This shared euphoria serves as a testament to the profound interconnectedness experienced within these extraordinary encounters. A trip report reads, "These weren't your average flora and fauna. Imagine living sculptures, sculpted from starlight and pulsating with a vibrant inner light. Leaves unfurled like cosmic tapestries, branches swayed like celestial dancers, and within their heart bloomed vibrant centers, a silent hymn to the interconnectedness of all things. But the most profound aspect wasn't their form, but their essence. Through a silent language of shared consciousness, I felt their joy, their vibrancy, their unbridled connection to the very fabric of existence. It was a love song to the earth, a symphony of life bursting forth in infinite variations. And somehow, I was part of it. No longer a mere observer, I felt myself woven into the tapestry, my own consciousness resonating with theirs. It was a humbling experience, a reminder of my own small yet vital role in the grand symphony of life. Descriptions of elementals vary greatly, reflecting the diverse nature of their elemental associations. Some users report seeing earth elementals as rock-like giants, while others encounter swirling vortices of wind for air, dancing flames for fire, and flowing streams of energy for water. Each elemental is intricately tied to its corresponding force. They are said to manifest the essence of their element, displaying characteristics like solidity and groundedness for earth, swirling dynamism for air, transformative intensity for fire, and fluid adaptability for water. There are subclasses as well: metal, wood, ice, etc. Many users report a nonverbal, intuitive communication with elementals. This communication can involve a sharing of emotions, sensations, or concepts without the need for spoken language. Earth elementals may appear as towering figures carved from stone, pulsating with earthy energy. They can represent themes of stability, groundedness, and connection to the physical world. Air elementals, often envisioned as swirling vortices, whispers of wind, or vibrant birds. Air elementals embody dynamism, change, and communication. They can offer insights into the power of intuition, adaptability, and mental agility. Fiery elementals typically manifest as dancing flames, radiant beings of pure energy, or even destructive infernos. They represent transformation, passion, and the power of creation and destruction. Flowing streams, swirling pools, or even mesmerizing mermaids. Water elementals embody fluidity, adaptability, and the deep mysteries of the subconscious. They can offer insights into intuition, emotions, and the interconnectedness of all things. One DMT user reported, "She wasn't a woman, not in the earthly sense. She was water, woven with starlight. Her form flowed like a celestial ocean, cascading around me in currents of pure azure. Within her depths, constellations pulsed like beating hearts, whispering cosmic secrets in a language beyond words. I didn't fall. I simply merged. My own boundaries dissolved, my consciousness flowing into hers. And in that union, I saw the universe through her eyes. I saw worlds birthed from her tears, galaxies swirling in her eddies, and stars cradled in her whispering currents. Her touch was both icy and warm, the caress of newborn glaciers and the embrace of ancient hot springs. Her voice, a chorus of rushing rivers and echoing rainstorms, resonated in the deepest chambers of my soul. She spoke of time as a river, ever flowing, and life as its ceaseless dance. Some describe wizards as figures cloaked in robes, woven from nebulae, wielding staffs forged from starlight. Others encounter beings sculpted from living wood, their eyes shimmering with ancient wisdom, or even shifting clouds of pure knowledge. Despite their diverse forms, a common thread binds them, an air of benevolence and immeasurable wisdom. Communication with the wizard transcends the limitations of language. Words falter, replaced by a direct transfer of knowledge and understanding. It is a telepathic dance, a sharing of insights that bypass the confines of the human mind. This exchange often takes the form of guidance and mentorship, as the wizard offers glimpses into the nature of reality, the secrets of consciousness, and the individual's unique place within the vast cosmic tapestry. But the wizard's role is not solely one of gentle guidance. Some encounters are laced with a playful tricksterism, where riddles and challenges test the traveler's perception and push them to confront their own limitations. These experiences, though potentially unsettling, serve as catalysts for personal growth and expansion of consciousness. A trip report reads, "He wasn't a man, not in the earthly sense. He was a symphony of stardust, his form woven from starlight and the fabric of dreams. Glimmering robes draped his body, each fold a miniature galaxy, swirling with untold stories. In his eyes, vast and star-filled, I saw the reflection of every supernova and the whisper of every black hole. He spoke, not with words, but with a symphony of emotions and concepts, a cascade of cosmic knowledge washing over me. Lost are we, his voice said. Lost I was, adrift in this ocean of infinity, my earthly anchors untied. He, the star-eyed bard, saw my fear, and his laughter, a tinkling of crystal stars, calmed the storm in my soul. Fear not, traveler, he chuckled, his voice a chorus of nebulae, for here you are found. His words, each a universe, unfolded the secrets of existence. He showed me the dance of creation and destruction, the intricate ballet of atoms birthing stars and stars birthing worlds. He unveiled the interconnectedness of all things, the invisible threads that bind a teardrop to a supernova, a whispered prayer to a roaring quasar. Awakened humans are fellow travelers, albeit seasoned ones. Astral projection, a practice with a long and varied history across cultures, posits the ability of the conscious mind to detach from the physical body and travel in non-physical realms. DMT, with its mind-altering properties, might act as a catalyst for such journeying, allowing us to brush shoulders with individuals on their own quests for understanding. Imagine then encountering a fellow explorer who has traversed vast landscapes of consciousness, shedding layers of limitation and expanding their awareness. Their presence would undoubtedly exude a profound peace and wisdom, gleaned from countless trials and revelations. It's no coincidence, then, that reports of awakened humans often describe an overwhelming sense of benevolence and compassion emanating from them. They are, in a sense, teachers, sharing the fruits of their journey and guiding others on their own paths. A trip report says, at the peak of the experience, a luminous figure solidified within the hyperspace landscape. The entity resembled a human, yet its form shimmered with ethereal light, and its eyes contained galaxies within their depths. I named the entity Eos, based on its luminescence and association with a sense of dawning. Communication with Eos transcended spoken language. Instead, I perceived a flow of emotions, concepts, and universal truths directly into my consciousness. Eos did not shy away from presenting paradoxes and challenging my limited perception of reality. Time became fluid, life and death intertwined, and the boundaries between self and other dissolved. This intellectual and emotional challenge initially caused distress, but ultimately led to a deeper sense of personal transformation and liberation from restrictive earthly conceptions. Masters and Buddhas are enlightened beings who tend to hang about on clouds or other lofty vantage points and observe all things below them without any real intent or focus. They often appear serene and radiating immense peace. Some report chanting or performing yoga-like movements, possibly symbolizing their ongoing connection to spiritual practices and their influence on the surrounding reality. Their gaze encompasses everything in their vision, suggesting limitless awareness and understanding. This aligns with the Buddha concept of universal knowledge and detachment. Your observation of their apparent lack of desire or goal aligns with Buddhist teachings on non-attachment and transcending worldly concerns. Some interpret their presence as simply observing, while others believe their subtle actions, like chanting, act as a subtle, benevolent force, tonifying the world. Similar to awakened humans, communication with masters and Buddhas during DMT trips likely transcends spoken language. Intuition, emotional cues, and direct transfer of knowledge may be the avenues of interaction. A user reported, "In the midst of the boundless expanse, a serene figure emerged, a Buddha, radiating tranquility and wisdom. The air was thick with an aura of enlightenment, and the Buddha's gaze held the secrets of the ages. Time seemed to stand still, as we communed on a plane beyond the constraints of earthly reality. Communication occurred not through spoken language, but through the exchange of thoughts and emotions. The Buddha imparted timeless wisdom, unlocking the mysteries of the universe. I was guided through the intricacies of existence, gaining insights that transcended the limitations of mortal understanding." Descriptions of the succubus entity highlight her fluid and seductive nature. Often resembling a beautiful female figure, she shapeshifts and adapts to the individual's desires and fears. Encounters are characterized by heightened sensuality, ranging from playful flirtation to intense sexual experiences. However, a darker side also emerges, with reports of power dynamics, control issues, and even confrontations with repressed anxieties and fears related to sexuality. The transformative potential of encountering the succubus lies in her ability to confront individuals with their own repressed desires and fears. This confrontation can be challenging, often triggering discomfort and emotional vulnerability. However, successful integration of the lessons learned from the succubus can lead to a deeper understanding of oneself, one's relationship with sexuality and power, and the acceptance of shadow aspects as integral parts of the whole. A trip report reads, "As the veils of the surreal lifted, the succubus materialized, her form an embodiment of unearthly beauty. With every move, she exuded an aura of temptation, drawing me deeper into a dreamscape where the rules of desire were rewritten. The air crackled with an intoxicating energy, and the boundary between fear and fascination blurred. As the encounter intensified, the succubus delved into the recesses of my deepest desires. The experience transcended the physical, becoming a journey into the labyrinth of my own psyche. Desires long buried and hidden came to the surface, and the succubus seemed to feed on the essence of my yearning." Imps are often described as small, gremlin-like creatures with exaggerated features, glowing eyes, and playful expressions. They can morph and shapeshift, adopting bizarre forms that reflect the individual's fears and desires. They love to play pranks, leading explorers on wild goose chases, distorting perceptions, and sometimes even offering cryptic riddles or challenges. While their intentions are rarely malicious, their antics can be overwhelming or unsettling for some individuals. Encounters often involve whimsical journeys through fantastical landscapes, riddled with jokes, puns, and unexpected twists. Sometimes, imps act as trickster guides, mirroring and exaggerating hidden fears and insecurities, forcing the individual to confront and laugh at their own quirks. A user reported, "He perched on a shimmering star shard, his emerald eyes twinkling like mischievous fireflies. His skin resembled spun moonlight, and his laughter chimed like wind chimes kissed by starlight. Well, well, well," he piped, his voice a melody spun from starlight and forgotten dreams. If it isn't the intrepid explorer finally gracing us with their presence. Time fractured. We pirouetted through landscapes that would make Salvador Dali blush, forests sculpted from spun sugar, and galaxies swirling like watercolor masterpieces. He was the Pied Piper of this hyperspace carnival, his riddles whispered on cosmic winds, his laughter echoing through the infinite void. He played peekaboo with hidden fears, coaxing them out into the open like shy woodland creatures, then dissolving them with a mischievous grin and a puff of stardust.
Like and subscribe